Hi, everybody. Oh, that is very loud. Hold on. I don't want to blast your ears right off. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Hi, everybody. Oh, we're off to a great start. So I promised a Q&A when I reached 20,000 subscribers, and I put it off because I was in the middle of an event. I was in the middle of February, which was totally fun. But now I'm going to do it, and I really hate long Q&As, so I want to try and get this done as fast as possible. I'm going to try and rush through all my answers. I mean, I'll try to be, thorough, but me wasting an entire minute of like just stuttering. Okay, so I'm going to try and be really thorough. I wrote down like notes for my answers so that I could get through this as quickly as possible, and I'm going to actually time it. I'm going to try and do like 5 minutes of channel questions, 5 minutes of personal questions, and 5 minutes of, I forget the other category. I have it here somewhere. Where is my phone? Oh, crap, I left my phone. Hold on. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm so sorry. My chair is so squeaky. I have my phone. I have my notes. Let's do this. I'm going to set the alarm. I'm going to set the timer. Oh, God, we're going on 2 minutes. I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, and we'll see how many questions we can get through in that time. Oh, my God, where's the file? There it is. Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, channel questions. Any background in voice acting? Nope, none. I've always just played pretend and did silly voices for my own amusement. How did you choose your channel's name? Okay, this is really embarrassing. So, I knew I needed something that sounded appropriately, appealingly sweet and girly to get across the kind of content that I was going to make, but, I'm not very good at girly. So oh my God. I used a magical pony name generator for ideas. I kept a running list of words and combinations that I liked, but, I wasn't really vibing with most of them because I'm not girly, and they were. And there were a bunch of channel name possibilities that didn't make the cut. You know, maybe someday I'll share those. But anyway, one of the words I really liked was velvet. You know, like having a velvety voice. So I thought red velvet. No, that sounds too smutty. I'm gonna be doing vanilla stuff. Aha! Vanilla velvet. Is that a cupcake? It is actually. And if/when I do less vanilla content, I'll do that as red velvet. So, ta-da, I have a backup plan. Next question. I love the art in your thumbnails. Is that your art or someone else's? Do you draw your own thumbnail art? No, I don't. I use stock from various professional stock image sites. I do draw, but anime girls are a little out of my wheelhouse. Maybe someday I'll use my own art, though. How do you feel about multiple comments on the same video? Good for the algorithm? Sure. The thing about the algorithm is the more comments a video gets in the first day it's up, the better. First week is excellent too, but the first 24 to 48 hours after the premiere is really crucial to getting it to peak and maybe potentially go viral. Where'd you learn to edit? Tutorials online. I was a total beginner when I started this and threw myself into learning everything I could right away before I even recorded my first audio. I hope to put together some tutorials of my own on my Patreon. Oh, yeah, right, I have a Patreon. I should have mentioned that at the beginning. I hope to put together some tutorials for my Patreon, including, some freebies just to help other audio artists get a leg up when they first start, because, man, I had zero clue what I was doing, and I followed some lousy advice to start with that set me back a little bit. Is voice acting something you do as a passion project, or would you like to work professionally with it? Sure, I'd love to go pro someday. I don't think I'm good enough to be a big name or anything, though, and just for the record, that's not me fishing for compliments, it's being realistic. The cream of the crop voice actors out in, like, Los Angeles and Vancouver and wherever are way more versatile than I am. They've had more training, and they can do more voices, and they deserve the big bucks. I'm still very rusty compared to the stuff I could do a few years ago when I was practicing every day. But I could see doing some voiceover for, like, indie games, things like that. I actually considered getting in touch with the developer of Crush, was it? Because there was an audition, I think, up on some site, and now I forget what it was. Well, anyway, I considered that, but I got too scared and didn't. What's your favorite script? I think, even after all this time, it's the first one I did by Yancon, the yandere Android made script, and that one does not, that audio has not gotten a ton of attention, which makes me sad. Because it was what really got me excited to do this, and the character arc was fantastic. I had tons of room to play with the performance, so, you know, going from perky to scared to loving to hurt to scary and back again, and there was just a whole emotional spectrum to run, and it was so much fun. How much time do I have left? 1 minute! Okay, how are you so active in the comments and such? It's very much a nice touch. Well, yeah, thank you. I look a lot more active than I am, I think. Whenever I have 5 minutes, I hop on my phone and answer a few. Most only take a second, so it's not that big a deal. And I try to set aside some time during the premiere to answer comments under the latest video, you know, and I also try to do a bunch of short replies first to get them done, and then when I've got more time to settle down, I'll write a few longer ones. I used to have more time to compose longer, more thoughtful replies, but as my channel gets bigger, I get more comments, and it's harder to keep that up. How do you feel about the fact that how do you feel about the fact that you have impacted people's lives so positively with just your voice acting? Good, lucky, thankful. There's not much more to say than that. Everybody needs an escape sometimes. I'm glad my audios can be that for some people, you know. I've had things that I've used as an escape before, and it's nice. It's good to have an escape hatch, and it's nice to be an escape hatch. So, oh, my alarm's about to go off. Oh, no. Okay, well, it just went off, and I somehow didn't have the sound on, so, well, that was 5 minutes. Well, I'm still gonna set another one. 5 more minutes, let's see. What advice would you give to someone that wishes to pursue a channel like this? Learn as much about editing and sound design from the get-go before you sit down to record, so you can really hit the ground running. And then just do it. Just launch a channel. Don't be scared. You can do it, you know. If I can, you definitely can. I believe in you. So, yay. Out of all the characters and situations you've done on the channel, which one can you relate to the most? The adopting an abandoned Echo audio. That performance was very personal for reasons I won't go into, but yeah, that one. Will you ever do female for female or female for male audios, or will you stick for mostly bleh? Why can't I get this stuff out? Will you ever do female for female or female for male audios, or will you stick mostly to female for all? I've done a few female for male, and I'd like to do female for female, but those scripts are really quite rare. So it's hard to find. I like having a channel where as many people as possible can listen to my stuff, and I tried doing female for male audios mostly as an experiment to see if, like, my analytics would be better, you know, to see if they'd be more popular, and they really weren't. So it seems like female for all is kind of where it's at, but I'm not opposed to doing anything else. Okay. What do you do to warm up to get ready to start recording? Okay, well, tonight I didn't really do much of anything, as you can tell, because I'm sitting here babbling like an idiot. Let's see. Hydrate. That would be my number one tip. Like, for the love of Pete, please, if you ever get into a job like this, I am begging you, make sure you're fully hydrated first, because, like, the drier your mouth is, you get these weird, unpleasant, lip-smacky, clicky noises. I mean, they sound like this. And that's just, they can't be edited out, and they're just terrible, and I hate them. So I hydrate. I'm hydrated tonight, but because I'm babbling so fast, you can't really tell. Actually, where's my water? Where's my water? You're gonna get to hear me drink water. I lied, it was Gatorade. Okay. Then, after you hydrate, just do some basic vocal exercises and, like, tongue twisters to make sure your enunciation is in good shape. That's what I do. Okay, of all the scripts you've done, which was the most difficult to do? Whether that was finding the right voice for the character or simply recording issues, and for the other side of the coin, I was curious which script was the most fun and that you enjoyed making the most. The most difficult voice-wise was the Orc Girl. That was really taxing. The one that gave me the most technical difficulty was the Vampire Sisters. Like, holy crap, Juniper and I, we recorded that thing like 3 or 4 different times, and every single time there was a new problem with the tech. So by the end, we were jokingly calling the script cursed, and like at a certain point, we were convinced that we weren't actually going to get to finish it because it just kept going wrong, and every time it was wrong in a new way, and it was like, who did we piss off? As for which script was the most fun, which one I enjoyed making the most, I think it's a tie, which is not helpful at all. The clumsy ditzy giantess was really fun to record. I got to do my best, like, Lola Bunny voice, and then the naughty imp girl was really fun to sound design because of all the terrible gags. And the ones I had the most fun ad-libbing around so far are the clingy girlfriend voicemail and the curious wolf girl who visits your tent. Yep, that narrows down favorite not at all. I'm very bad at picking favorites. I'm sorry. My alarm is about to go off again. Why did I think this was going to work? This was a dumb plan. Why did I think this was going to work? I'm just going to be stuck doing a long Q&A. I mean, it's not that I don't like you guys. It's just, you know, as an audience member, I hate things that are long and rambly and boring and whatever. Okay. What would you say are your biggest comedy influences? You know, all the greats. Robin Williams, Mel Brooks, Mitch Hedberg, the Marx Brothers, Rodney Dangerfield, Steve Martin, but like only in the 70s. You know, the Let's Get Small era of Steve Martin. I think that's what that one show was called. Martin and Lewis, the Three Stooges, Looney Tunes, and MGM cartoons, particularly Tex Avery when it comes to MGM. I know a lot of people are like really into Tom and Jerry, and that ain't me. Most of the golden age comedians who started in vaudeville and the things they influenced really is where it's at. Like the late 60s and 70s counterculture comedians are important and everything, but oh my God, I love a good classic cheap joke, you know, surrealism, wordplay, borscht belt comedian shit. I love that. Okay, this is a combination question because they're related. I wrote that down. Ow, dang it. I banged my hand on my desk. Anyway, here we go. So, are there any characters that you haven't tried but really want to do? And what's a prompt that you've always wanted to do? Okay, so I hail from the world of fandom, where prompts and challenges and kink memes and things are really common in the community. So, as a personal challenge, I keep a running list of all the character types that I'd like to do one day. And the one I'm willing to share is that I keep a list of about 100 different monster girl types. And I want to eventually do at least one audio of each kind. If you're familiar with the 30 Days of Monster Girl challenge that goes around like in October every year, I was inspired by that because, yeah, but that list just doesn't have enough monster girls on it. There are not enough monster girls. I want all the monster girls. I want to play all the monster girls. Okay. Oh my God, more Gatorade. And before you ask, it is blue. My favorite flavor of anything is blue. Blue M&Ms, blue Gatorade, blue popsicles, the whole bit. What's your least favorite type of character to play? Okay, so I've been very lucky that I've never had to play one of these, but the blandly supportive, flat character that has no personality or interests or desires of her own that's my pet peeve. It's a common archetype in, like, all sorts of fiction, not just ASMR, and it's just so boring to me. If you write a character as a supporting player for another and, like, you can't imagine what she does in her free time when she's alone, you've created a poorly developed character, and poorly developed characters are dull, I'm sorry to say. Like, a yandere may be singularly obsessed with her love interest, but, like, at least she's got flaws and a personality and goals, even if those goals are really sketchy and illegal. There's complexity there, and that creates interest not just as a listener, but for a performer, too. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with, like, being a loving, supporting partner or a devoted house spouse or anything like that, but shit, dude, just give the character a hobby or something, you know? Let the audience fall in love with her because she's interesting or funny or smart or tough or sweet or clever or babbles like an idiot like me, not just because she's a really sturdy emotional crutch. I find that really, really dull. Like, no shade to anyone who enjoys it, I just don't. What are some video ideas you've considered doing but weren't sure how to make it into a video? Oh, it's not so much I'm not sure how to do it, but it'd be really labor intense. So, I have an idea for an audio about an AI where it goes yandere, and I'd like to fully animate it in a retro pixel style, like 16-bit maybe. I haven't found the time to do that, obviously. And I'd like to commission someone to write the script for me so I can spend more time focusing on the other elements that I'd need it to be successful, to my vision. But someday, I hope. Who inspired you to start your channel/career? Originally, the person who made me want to do voice work was definitely Robin Williams in Aladdin, when I was an itty-bitty kid. To start with, I wanted to be an animator, but I was so young and my art was shit, so I figured, acting, I'm a ham, that's bound to be easier, right? And I even recorded myself doing a bunch of different voices and singing because I wanted to send the result to Disney, but my mom wouldn't let me. Why would I want to give you postage for this, child? Which was reasonable in retrospect. We were poor. And, sending my shit to Disney was a waste of time and money. But, in some alternate universe, I might have been a Disney princess. Who knows? Yeah, oh well. Que sera, sera. How did you and Juniper start collaborating, if it's not too personal? It is not too personal. We've been friends for... Oh my god, my brain stalled because I had to do math. Half our lives at this point? So when I got into this, of course I told her, and then I harassed her until she joined me, and now she's off having a blast making content herself, and it's really fun when we can actually hang out together, and, we have time, and we can record together and stuff, but, the timing and organizing our schedules and stuff, getting it together is really difficult. But, speaking of which, do you have any more lamia-based ASMR coming up? I do. I'm going to be doing a guest stint on Juniper Justice's channel soon as lamia. So, yeah, we're doing 2 lamia girls. That's going to be fun. So you should check out Juniper Justice ASMR because, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Of all the characters you've played, which one is your favorite? Oh, I can't pick just one. I'm sorry, I can't pick just one. I love them all. They are all my children, in the words of Freddy Krueger. Why am I quoting Fred? Well, why wouldn't I? Anyway, how many voices are you able to do? Oh, it's really hard to say. I have a core group of voices that I can do variations on. Like, I have a high register, a medium register, my actual register, which is fairly deep for a girl. It's this one. And then an even lower one. But if you mean more like impressions, I used to be able to do about a dozen, I think. But, I'm way out of practice on all of them, so I won't be busting those out anytime soon, I don't think. One of the ones you guys probably heard is my Harley Quinn, which I used to be much better at, and that appears in Picking Pet Names with Your Long-Distance Girlfriend, I think. Yes, that's the title of the video. Next question. If you had to choose your favorite ASMR video you've created or your favorite ASMR video someone else made, what would it be? Which video of yours are you most proud of? My favorite that I've made is the obsessive yandere girl stalks and hunts you. I'm still really proud of that one. My favorite someone else has made... Okay. There's an audio someone did where you're on a date with a sim, and it's done entirely in Simlish. It's so silly. I love it. So that I can't remember who did it. I'm sure if you look it up, Sims date ASMR, you'll find it. But I thought that was really funny and inspired. What has been your motivation to do YouTube? What a good question. And I have no satisfying answer. It's fun, and I like fun. And now I'm monetized, so I'm not too good to say it. YouTube made me an offer I couldn't refuse. Money. It's actually not that much money, but I've bought so many books with my first payout. So many books! Which, that's one of my vices. Books. I buy too many books, but, I've been a good girl for a few years now, not buying many books, and now I'm books, all the books! Okay. Due to how crappy YouTube can be against channels like this, do you foresee alternate means of uploading audios and content because what you do is pretty awesome and impressive? Oh, thank you. And I'd hate to see YouTube screw you over and either strike down your content or kill this amazing channel. I'd hate that too. Well, I just started a Patreon, so there's that, if anything ever gets taken down, and, I hope, I should say, I'll be okay, because I'm trying really hard to color inside YouTube's lines. A lot of channels that get hit with the YouTube hammer, they try to skirt the rules a little bit, you know, they go right up to the edge and openly court danger, and they get cracked down on as a result. So I'm doing my best to not do that. So I don't know how successful I'll be, but I'm doing my best to stay well clear of any rule violations. Next question. Any favorite character archetypes or settings that you haven't done but want to do? And are there any videos you'd love to do a sequel of sorts on if you got the chance? Oh, archetypes I'd like to do. There's nothing specific I can think of off the top of my head. Sequels? Yeah, I'd love to do follow-ups to all the videos I've done that have sequel scripts. And you know, maybe the secretary audio, because I think there's a hilarious direction that can go in. But I'll have to talk with the writer about writing a sequel. Actually, it's one of my goals on Patreon. When I reach like 200 and something patrons, I'm going to start commissioning and stuff, sequel scripts. So yeah, let's put a pin in that. Do you feel embarrassed sometimes when you do some lines? No, not really. I know no shame. That answer might change as I do more adult content down the line. But for now, nope, everything's fine. I don't feel embarrassed. This is an interesting question. There are terms and tropes, yandere, tomboy, etc., that you don't generally experience without immersion into a certain corner of the internet. Were you already familiar with these terms when you started voice acting, or did you become familiar as your voice acting progressed? What was your experience like? Oh man, okay. Please, imagine me taking a deep drag on a cigarette, like, kid, I've been around. This ain't my first rodeo. What, you think I just fell off the turnip truck yesterday? I seen things. Anyway, yeah, I was already familiar with most of the terms involved, at least in passing, and then, you know, the more research I did, the more I realized, oh yeah, this is totally a thing. So there's not much to tell, really, about my experience. Okay, next question. Are there any videos, scripts, or ideas you had to scrap for certain reasons? Why were they scrapped? Oh, okay. Yes, there were, first of all. There was one I recorded that I really liked the script, and I really liked the performance, and I had so much fun recording it. It was just a blast. But the result was just a little too mean-spirited, I guess. It was the murderous wife confesses to killing her weeb husband script. And the script was fine. I liked the script. Like I said, it was a lot of fun to make, and playing unhinged and evil is always really entertaining, at least for me. I don't know if it's entertaining for you. I hope it is, but I love it. But I just felt like the end result just didn't fit with my brand and what I personally want to put out there. It was just very judgy, you know? And the character was... my audience is made up of fans of things, and I don't want to insult them, you know, because I, too, am a fan of things, and I don't want to bully you guys indirectly through the kind of content I make. Does that make sense? So that was, yeah. The script was fine, it was fun, it was funny, but it didn't fit with my content, and the kind of vibe I want in my community. Do any of your friends or family know about your channel? If so, what are their thoughts on it? Everyone who matters knows, and they're all very supportive, and everyone who doesn't matter, well, they don't matter, so, yeah. Do you have advice for aspiring ASMRtists, or just voice actors in general, such as how to overcome shyness, and how to properly get into character? Okay. My best advice for dealing with shyness like that is this. Go into this job knowing that you're allowed to quit. I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive, like you're setting yourself up for failure, but you're not. When you sit down to record something, you can tell yourself that you don't have to share it with the whole world, that this can just be for you. And working with that mindset takes a lot of the pressure off, because otherwise you can get caught up in thinking, oh, you know, how will someone think how this sounds? Or, oh, what if someone makes fun of me for this? You know, but if you remove those expectations by telling yourself, oh, I don't have to post this, it can just be mine, then you can be a lot more authentic. In my case, sometimes I also like having someone in the room, someone I can trust that I can perform for. Because if I can make them laugh, I know I can make you guys laugh. And, you know, even saying your lines to a pet or a favorite plushie can help, because if you're having a hard time and sounding wooden. As for getting into character, practice playing pretend. You know, daydream and then act it out at the mic. Think about what it's like to be the character you're going to play and then just pretend to be that. And what do I mean by pretending? Well, like, take the opportunity to kind of fantasize weird things. Well, not weird things. That sounds, okay. Like, let's say you have to do the dishes, you know? Sometimes I will imagine, oh, I'm a poor scullery maid, you know, oh, I'm forced to scrub these dishes in the castle kitchen. Gee, I sure wish that prince would notice me. You know, that kind of daydreaming where you take your mundane things that you're doing every day and then imagine something more fantastical. It gives you practice at pretending, which is something that a lot of adults don't do, which is kind of bullshit because, you know, the only people who pretend as adults are usually like writers or actors. And so that's why you get people who can't act because they stopped pretending when they were kids. Okay. I hope that made sense. I didn't have notes on that one. I know you've done a few collabs with the wonderful Juniper, but do you have any plans for collabs with any other voiceover folks? Okay, so I keep going back and forth on this. On the one hand, I really don't like collabs where the sound quality doesn't match because it was recorded in different places. I know there's a term for that, but I can't remember what it is. On the other hand, collabs are nice. Building each other up is nice. Sharing a fan base is nice, and helping promote each other is nice. But, like, on still another hand, collabs can potentially lead to drama because, you know, at the end of the day, you don't really know the other person. You might know them online, but unless you've known each other for, like, several years, there's still that sense of, like, they could stab you in the back or just, you know, like, there's been, oh boy, there has been some drama in the ASMR community in the past week or so, and it just really... you know, with people doing collabs and turning out to be manipulative behind the scenes and threatening doxing and stuff like that. And it's making me kind of just want to keep my head down and hang out in my corner of the sandbox and do my own thing and just, like, not play with anyone else. I don't want to sound paranoid. I would love to be able to work with lots of other channels. But for now, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm just building my brand. I want to make sure that I'm okay over here. And yeah. Next question. It's hard to hold yourself accountable and meet deadlines in a career path like yours. Man, it is. You have no idea. How do you deal with time management? I'm not asking for general advice. No, I want to know exactly what you do to manage your time. Oh boy. Okay, so the problem with trying to explain what I do in terms of time management is my methods will not work for you. I can guarantee they won't work for you. And they likely won't make sense either because they're tailored to specifically hacking my brain. And man, my brain it's just a glorious disaster area. I have both OCD and ADHD, and I'm also autistic. So the result is a lot like having two buffs and a debuff, but it's always a crapshoot which one will be the debuff today, you know? So, like, I make a lot of lists, not just to organize my thoughts, but because if I don't write everything down, I'll immediately get distracted and it'll just slip right out of my head. I set lots of tiny goals and reward myself when I accomplish them because my scatterbrain loves that little dopamine hit, you know? Oh, that dopamine hit. Oh, yeah, that's why I only play games with achievements now because brain needs the dopamine hit. I'm very detail-oriented, but sometimes that backfires because I have to repeatedly do a task because my OCD demands it, which is not great for time management. And so my little hacks around that will not help you because you don't have that problem. So, I'm sorry, I can't really answer this question in any way that's satisfying or helpful. I'm really, really sorry to say. I make lists, I reward myself, I work with my brain weird instead of against it, which is something that takes a lot of practice, and it only works on an individual level. You have to figure out how to hack your own brain, because my hacks won't work on yours. Next question. Will we ever see a bloopers reel? Oh, if I ever have enough bloopers that aren't just me swearing like a one-eyed sailor, sure, yeah. I had a blooper earlier tonight where I had to take a drink of water in between lines, and then I was doing the line, and it was one of those very sexy, scary, oh yeah, you're so in it, and it was one of those kinds of characters, very sinister, femme fatale type, and I burped. And then I scolded myself for burping, and I don't think anyone is gonna want to hear that, that is technically a blooper, but I don't think you guys want that, brap, oh man, why did I have to, or every time I sneeze, I sound exactly like Betty Boop. That could be in a blooper, I guess. I'm sorry, I'm getting off topic. So much for trying to do this fast, huh? And not ramble. Okay. Next question. What was your favorite video that you have done and why? Okay, so I know I sort of answered this before, but this is more in depth, so I have 3 answers for this. The audio that's my favorite vocal performance is probably the flirty. Flirty? Oh my god, flirty. I can words. Shut up. Okay, so I have 3 answers for this. Now I'm going to try and actually say them with proper diction. So the audio that's my favorite vocal performance is the flirty moth girl. The energy I brought to the mic that day was just incredible, and I am so bummed out that I haven't been able to hit those heights again, because I was really burned out, and it was the last audio I did of Here for the Booze, and I was just really tired, and so I threw everything I had at it, and the result was really energetic and fun, but I just haven't been able to hit that desperation again. And the one that's my favorite for sound design is the flirty imp girl, because the gags were so fun. I already said that. And then my favorite in terms of the video itself is either the yandere mortician, which no one likes. That has so many downvotes, you guys. No one likes that one. The dominant alien, or the yandere stalker hunting you. Because I loved playing with the visuals and doing something a little different. Anyway. Next question. And more Gatorade. Where is my Gatorade? How did it... Oh no, it's empty! Oh wait, little left. Okay. Now it's empty. Gotta recycle that. Okay. Could you take us into the script writing / reviewing process? Do others write a script specifically for you? Do you select a script from the available ones online? Do you write your own scripts? Do you have any thoughts about taking script submissions from the audience? That is a lot. Okay. All right. Okay. So there are places where people post scripts with rules and stipulations, they're public, and like the ASMR Script Haven on Reddit is one. Script Bin is another. And I skim through those until I find a storyline or character type that really strikes my fancy, and then and then I record it. That's it. Sometimes I'll actually try and plan what kind of voice I'm going to use, but usually I'll just sit down and just do it. I don't usually write my own scripts currently. I've done a couple that I haven't shared with you guys, but they're, I just have a really hard time switching gears from one art form to another, because my brain is wired to hyperfixate on whatever I'm doing and then forget all about it when I set it down to do something else. So I've been intentionally devoting all my creative energy to making audios at the cost of every other creative hobby I have, because I know myself. If I switch to something else and devote the kind of energy it requires to do it well and to my standard, because again, OCD, I'll end up fixated on it for 3 months and then just neglect my channel, and I don't want to do that. I'm trying to find a way to better juggle multiple things, but I'm not really designed for it, so it's tough. I'm like a butterfly. I'm meant to flit from one thing to another, and it really requires discipline to keep doing something for a longer period. Doing YouTube has been a huge change for me from the way I usually do things, because now I have an audience, and I don't want to let you guys down while I get distracted doing something else. I can put off my needlepoint and my drawing and my whatever, because I want to keep doing this. And, yeah. I mean, granted, that's sort of how you burn out, but not yet. Fingers crossed. What does the process of making a video look like? Finding a script, how long it takes, etc. Okay, this is going to be a useless answer, because there's no good answer for this. I'm sorry. It just varies. Sometimes it takes 5 minutes to find a script I like, and sometimes I'll poke around and not find anything I'm really into for like a week, and sometimes it takes 20 minutes to record, sometimes it takes an hour. You know, even averaging it out is kind of impossible, because, yeah. Let's see. Is there a reason why a large amount of your videos are yanderes? Are they just more fun to record? Honestly, there's a lot of really well-written yandere content out there, and even the stuff that isn't technically deft is easy to polish into something fun. And they're fun to perform, too. I like the challenge of finding ways to make the archetype varied. I know some VAs find yanderes, boring, and they feel kind of like they've got a gun to their head, where people are like, oh, I have to do yanderes because they're so popular, but I actually really enjoy them because I think the character type has a lot of room for interpretation that can help keep them interesting if you put the effort in to find new angles. So yeah. Next. What are your thoughts about radio? ASMR and radio have a great many things in common. They do. When ASMR is at its best, it is the renaissance of radio, I feel. Well, I guess podcasts are really more the renaissance of radio. Well, anyway. So, yeah, I actually really like Golden Age radio shows. I used to listen to them as a kid sometimes, because I've always been a little weirdo who liked old things. If you never listened to any, you definitely should. Go hunt down an episode of, oh my God, what is it called? What is it called? I should have written it down. Vincent Price's, it's a pun, what is it? The Price of Fear, that's it. Yes. I mean, that's not, it was like in the 70s and into the 80s, so it's not really Golden Age, like The Lone Ranger or whatever, but it's a really solid show that still holds up. And I think if you enjoy horror or speculative fiction in general and you've never consumed old radio, you're really missing out on a forgotten art form. But again, I am an old soul who's into weird old shit, so don't listen to me. Or do. I don't know. I'm not the boss of you. What is your biggest pet peeve when it comes to recording? Oh, so now I get to complain. Okay. There are a lot of pet peeves. I can't narrow it down to just one. Weird mouth sounds, ambient noises that I can't control, like traffic or birds or planes, fucking planes. I never knew I lived somewhere with so many planes until I tried recording and not, have a plane overhead. It is so irritating. Anyway, not having enough energy when I have time to record to give a performance what it needs. Reverb, clipping. If you don't know what clipping is, that is, oh man. Not being able to find good sound effects that don't have a lot of weird background sound and stuff. There are just so many things. I really can't just narrow it down to one, because it's like any hobby where once you become kind of proficient at it, you learn the ins and outs of it, and then you find all of the ways that those ins and outs can break. And you just, they all become the bane of your existence. Next. How stressful is recording ordinarily? Okay, if I'm being good, and I'm having a decent day, and I'm not procrastinating until the last second, which I do a lot, it's not too terribly stressful. It's more fun than anything else. It's like playing. But the biggest problem, well, the biggest problem for me, what I find most stressful personally, is just energy. I know I sound very peppy and energetic and stuff right now, but this is going to wipe me out for the rest of the day because, well, without going into too much detail, I have a chronic illness, so my energy reserves are pretty limited. If I were sitting just doing cold readings of scripts in a whisper, like very standard ASMR kind of content, then, it wouldn't be so exhausting. But I want to do more than that for you guys and for myself. So, yeah, but finding the oomph to do that and keeping the energy up for the whole performance and not letting any of the strain show it's an acquired skill. It's hard. I'm doing it right now. I'm getting kind of tired, and I'm not even halfway through this Q&A, so I might take a tiny little break right this second and grab like a soda or something. Grab like an energy drink or something because I'm starting to drag. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I won't take a break right now because the next question, that would sound like I'm throwing shade. Okay, the next question. Then I will take a little break. Then I will come back. Who are your favorite ASMRtists and VAs aside from Juniper? Okay. This is a hard one. Because I'm at a point in my YouTube career where I'm trying not to listen to too much of my peers, because I don't want to, like, subconsciously steal anyone's delivery of lines in a public script. But, let's see, some VAs in the comm that I think are particularly talented. Oh, let me think. Let me actually look at my subs, because, you know, you gotta keep up with the, what is it, competitive analysis, or there's an actual term for it, where you keep an eye on other people in your niche to make sure that you're not totally failing at marketing. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay, Dangerous ASMR. She's outrageously good at what she does. Sweetheart Audio. She is unfailingly adorable. All her stuff is great. Fake ASMR. Her scripts are just hilarious. I really like her scripts. I think she does the best original scripts of anyone that I can think of off the top of my head. She's just very snarky, and that's very funny. Let me see, who else? Oh, okay, here's a short list. Yeah. So, Vixie Voice, she's talented, yeah. Mother Macabre, she's great at doing monster girls. She does a great, like, stable of different kinds of monster girls, and she doesn't shy away from killing the listener, which I like. Well, I mean, that makes it sound like it's my kink. I mean, I appreciate that she's willing to go there. Because I went there once, and the response was very bad, and I don't think I'm going to do it again. Stephanie Swan Quills, she's good. Urban Nymph, she's good. And Ginger Witch ASMR, she's also good. I really like story-based audios, personally, and, you know, stuff that's closer to radio or audio drama, so my tastes run that way. So yeah, that's, yeah. I also like funny stuff, and, you know, so, yes. All right, I said I was going to take a break, so I'm going to take a break, and you're going to get to hear me stumble around in my room and try and get, you know, an energy drink. I will be right back. Oh, dang it! Well. Hi, kitty. Who's a good kitty? It's you! Don't worry, I'll tell everyone about you in a minute. Okay. I have lied to you again. I did not get an energy drink. I got a bottle of water. Okay. Hydration. That's the good stuff. Okay. Does it ever bother you that people forget you're not writing scripts most of the time? I sometimes forget myself because of the ad-libs and such that makes it sound more vanilla velvety. Oh, okay, so... actually, let me... Oh my god, this is 50 minutes long. No one's gonna listen to this. Okay. Oh, I'll be able to do this in 5 minutes. No, you won't, you stupid fuck. Okay, alright. Does it ever bother you that people forget you're not writing the scripts most of the time? I sometimes forget myself because of the ad-libs and such that make it sound more vanilla velvety. Okay, it's hard to explain. Sort of, yes, sometimes. At the end of the day, I want writers to get credit for what they do, and I want to get credit for what I do. And, if someone likes a line, I try to point out in a comment whether it was originally in the script or if it was one of my ad-libs specifically, so that the writers just don't get forgotten for their contributions to the art form, because they really do. Like, it's a bit like in comics how everyone forgets that the inker is actually kind of important, and that the writer is actually kind of important. And, like, I ad-lib a lot, and I love to bring a script to life in a way that feels unique to my performance style and my channel. while still true to the original spirit of the script. But, like, I would have nothing to ad-lib around without the amazing writers out there. You know, specifically on the ASMR Script Haven. I riff on quality scripts to make something fun to hear, but, like, riffing is nothing without a solid foundation. And so, yeah, it annoys me a little bit sometimes, but I do my best to kind of keep it from happening so much. So yeah. What specific character is your favorite to do, and why are they your favorite? It depends. If I'm having a lousy day and I'm grumpy, I love to play a tsundere or a tomboy because, like, that's my normal vocal range and it's easier. If I'm feeling peppy and jokey like I am today, I prefer to play hyper. But I think my favorite is probably playing, you know, the evil femme fatale characters. It's the cat in me, I think. You know, that wicked desire to toy with a mouse. It's the same reason why I like to be bad in games and stuff, because it's fun, and I'm very much not a femme fatale at all in real life, but it's fun to play as one. It's fun to pretend. Okay. If creating YouTube content wasn't your career, what would you do instead of being a YouTuber? Well, the same thing I was doing before, writing, editing, consulting, which makes it sound way better, like more important than it was. I did script doctoring and editing and stuff, and it's not a big deal. Like, it's so not a big deal that you don't even get credited for it. Sometimes you don't get paid. Most times you don't get paid. Well, I have this section. All right, we're through the channel questions. Now we get into kind of offbeat questions. All right. Would you rather... Oh my God, why are you guys like this? I know why. I'm also like this. Would you rather eat live snakes that taste like your favorite food, or eat your favorite food that tastes like a snake? You know what? I'm not going to play. False dilemma. I'd rather never eat my favorite food again. I'll miss a nice medium rare steak, but I can live without them. And you know what? I'll probably live longer too, actually. Are you excited for Elden Ring? This question is old. Oh, it took me a long time to get to the Q&A, didn't it? Are you excited for Elden Ring? Well, I'm excited that everybody else is excited, but I'm not good at I'm not good at Souls-likes. I am very bad at Souls-likes. Anything that requires me to think in terms of, like, defensive maneuvers and stuff is not good, because when I play action RPGs and stuff, I am very much the person who just hits it with a stick until it falls down. That is my play style. Next weird question. Why do humans have eyebrows? Sweat, I think. Or being able to look at things skeptically, probably. All right, here's a good question. Do you love me? I love you as much as any woman's ever loved a rabbit. Okay? Well, actually, probably not that much, because I'm sure some woman somewhere has loved a rabbit in a weird way, and I don't love you that much, but, yeah. But no, the real answer is I love all humans, even terrible ones, because of our potential to be great. And it's a nerdy, humanist, weird kind of answer, but it's true. I find humans to be an incredible and miraculous species that is capable of great and terrible things, and I'm always impressed with us. So, yeah. If you had to either dive in the ocean with giant whales or skydive out of an airplane and had to choose one, which would you rather choose? Okay, skydiving. And the reason why is I almost drowned once when I was a kid. Like, 0 of 10. I don't recommend it. I mean, granted, you'd have to, like, throw me out of the plane because I'd be clinging to the side like a cat hanging onto the edges of a bathtub, but, like, I'd still rather have that happen to me than swim with whales. Yeah. If you could be... No, wait. I misread that. If you could remove anything you particularly dislike from existence and have nobody notice, what would it be? Oh, that's bait. Move along, literal genie and or creature from the Fey realm. I'm not gonna play. I'm not gonna do something stupid like wish all springs would vanish and then get haunted for the rest of eternity by a sadistic spring sprite named Coily or some shit. No, I'm not doing that. Nope, no answer. How are you? I couldn't really think of anything else. Smiley face. I'm alright. My throat's getting a little dry, but, I'm fine. I hope you're doing well. At what milestone do we get to have an Ewok dance party? I know who asked this one. Hi. This person is my first patron on Patreon. Let's see. So at what milestone do we get to have an Ewok dance party? Right now, if you want. Wait, no, that's the Star Wars Cantina. That's the wrong film. Please don't copyright strike me, YouTube. It was like for a second and probably out of tune. Next weird question. How do babies have the capability to physically crawl out of hell? It's a lesser-known genetic abnormality, known as the Cronenberg chromosome, a chrononsome, if you will. So that's the answer to that. What's the deal with airplane food? Ha ha. You think you're being funny, but I actually know this one, God help me. So, air pressure in the flight cabin and stuff affects your ability to taste things and smell things. And, like, even a 4-star gourmet meal that tastes amazing on the ground will lose, like, I think it's statistically 30% of its taste up in the air due to a variety of factors. And, so yeah, that's your pointless fact for the day. Thank you for taking it off my hands, because I don't need it. What are your thoughts on fitted sheets? I already answered this one, but I'll answer it again. I love to sleep on them, and I hate to fold them. I hate to fold them. And I'm someone who likes all the, like, housewifey things, like washing dishes and scrubbing floors and stuff. But folding fitted sheets, no. They are a fabric lament configuration, and I want nothing to do with them. Okay. Oh, and we're already at the next section. Okay. This is the favorites section. This is more personal stuff. Favorites. What's your favorite animal? I love cats of all sorts. Including forbidden cats like tigers, possums, and raccoons. Skunks are negotiable. Favorite dinosaur? Chickens. No, that's the smart-ass answer. The real answer is compies. I can't remember how to actually pronounce their name properly, so feel free to roast me in the comments. But their name in, I think, Greek, or is it Latin? What did they use for the genus? I can't remember. Well, whatever. Compies. Their name means refined and dainty, and they're just these itty-bitty little murder machines. I love them. Yes, if I had to have a pet dinosaur, that is what I would want. I would want something that would be, like, nipping at my heels all the time and really annoying. What's your favorite dere? Let's see. Yandere is the most fun to play with, but, if I'm being totally honest, I'm tsundere. Baka. Okay. That was a bad joke. I shouldn't have made that. That didn't land. Oh, I'll workshop it. What's your favorite book, film, and TV show? Okay. I don't really have permanent favorites usually, because I'm constantly consuming new stuff. And, you know, I'll read something and it'll knock my old favorite out of the top spot. And I know that's kind of weird. Lots of people don't do that. But anyway, so my current favorite book is Stephen King's The Stand. I'm on my second read-through or third partial read-through because I didn't read it all the way through the first time. So yeah, that is, I really appreciate that he was trying to do an Americanized take on The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and that using kind of American road culture as a backdrop for fantasy-style quest was a really interesting choice, and I really admire it, and I think that's, yeah, I think it's one of his, well, I'm not going to say it's one of his best books, it definitely could use some judicious editing, but yeah. There is a reason why he had to re-release it with, like, 200 extra pages or something, because, oh, those pages should have stayed on the cutting room floor. But those are my thoughts as an editor and not as a reader, so. Anyway, did that make any sense at all? I'm losing steam. So that's my current favorite book. My favorite film. My current favorite film is, I'm going to say 1960s Peeping Tom, which is such a film dork answer. I love the way it toys with the concepts of voyeurism and what it means to consume film, but, like, I also fell in love with it as a proto-slasher, and it has this gloriously tragic romance and exploration of trauma at its center that, unfortunately, a lot of people who focus on the themes of voyeurism and stuff kind of neglect the actual surface story, which is sad because it's very important. And just in general, it was really controversial when it came out in 1960 because it was, violent and very sexually, well, it wasn't even that explicit. It was explicit for its time, but it was very daring, let's say. And it's a crime that the director's career basically got destroyed because he made it, because it's a legitimately brilliant piece of cinema. And even if I didn't think it were a brilliant piece of cinema, I think it's a great, tragic love story. And I like it better as an exploration of trauma and turning trauma outward than, like, its contemporary Psycho. So, Hitchcock can bite me. Okay. Actually, he can't. He probably would have enjoyed that too much. Okay, favorite TV show. Okay. This one is a permanent favorite because nothing has ever really truly supplanted it in my affection. Star Trek, the original series, the OG, and do not come for me because I will fight you and then I will cry and you will feel bad. You don't want that, so, okay. Next question. Do you read? If so, what's the last memorable book or article or whatever you've read? Okay, I know this one. It was an article. Well, it was actually an excerpt for a book. In the MIT Press Reader. It's an old article. It's from like 2020, so it's a couple years old. It's from the before times. And it's about HAL 9000 and the question of whether or not he committed murder and what would be necessary for an AI to actually be capable of murder in the same way a human can be. I'm thinking about getting the book because I'd like to read this guy's arguments and see if he actually agrees with my assessment and whether or not the book itself actually brings up 2010, because that has, well, I feel that has a very strong bearing on the actual thesis, but, we'll see. But, I think it's like from the MIT Press or something, but publications put out through university presses tend to be incredibly expensive and very short print runs, and so, anyway. Favorite color and least favorite color. Black is my favorite, and don't come for me saying, oh, it's just all the colors mixed together, fuck you. Black is my favorite. And I really dislike brown. Like in furnishings and clothes and stuff. Like, I think brown in, like, makeup or skin or nature surroundings is really beautiful. But when you use it in paint or furniture or whatever, it's just so, like, there, It doesn't really have much to say. Like, red makes a statement, black makes a statement, but because brown is a neutral and is used as a neutral, it's used as a backdrop so often in art and design, it's like brown is a color that just doesn't want to be noticed, and I don't like that. I don't like that about it. Yeah. What's your favorite food? A nice medium rare steak. That's the one thing you can put in front of me and I am guaranteed to eat it. It doesn't matter if I'm full, I'll be like, but I have to eat this. Or, yeah. Favorite game or video game? Oh, good. An easy one. Favorite game? Monopoly, because I'm good at it and sadistic and enjoy making people squirm when I play it. That's like one of the only times I'm really a mean person is when I'm playing Monopoly. My favorite video game? Oh God. You know what, let me go look and see what I have the most hours in. That should narrow it down. Where is it? Hello, Steam. Good morning. That does not narrow it down at all. Okay, well, that was not helpful. Okay. I'm gonna say The Sims, I guess. That's the one game series where I've owned, like, everything. Every game, every DLC. And, like, the thing is, I don't like to play with the actual Sims much. Like, micromanaging their little lives to make them happy, I don't like doing that. I like to build things and just tear lives apart. It lets me indulge my worst impulses and just kind of get them out and be a mad, irresponsible god, and then I can go back to being a good person the rest of the time. But lest you think I am a filthy casual, I also enjoy other things. Let's see. Fallout New Vegas, Darkest Dungeon, platformers of reasonable difficulty, like, classic Mega Man level difficulty, like Shovel Knight, not like Super Meat Boy. Oh my god. Civilization, Crusader Kings 2, lots of management simulation and city building. I like those. I also like classic isometric RPGs and JRPGs, survival games. But I love managing statistics and logistics, which is weird for someone who is so hopelessly bad at math. But yeah, I like to play a game where I click a button and a little bar goes whoop, and then I'm like, oh yeah, dopamine. Okay. What is your favorite Star Wars line? That's an easy one. It's into the garbage chute, flyboy. Top 5 anime of all time. Oh god, movies or shows? And they didn't specify. Okay, so I'm like really busy and I don't have time to keep up with stuff, so what are the last few things I watched that I really liked? Evangelion, I really liked that. My Love Story was so sweet and perfect it gave me a cavity. Or in High School Host Club, because I really love tropey meta stuff. Actually, I'm kind of getting tired of tropey meta stuff, but I saw it at a point where I wasn't tired of tropey meta stuff, so. Sailor Moon, because it was my first. It's a lot of people's first, especially girls. Cowboy Bebop. Lupin the Third. I mean, am I over 5? I think I'm over 5 now. Well, whatever. So Lupin the Third, every series but 4, which is a controversial opinion, I know, but that is the opinion I hold. How dare you? How dare you sideline Fujiko that way? Fuck you. Fuck you, part 4. Inuyasha, because I am romantic angst trash, and I secretly eat that stuff up with a spoon. If you have any good, 50-episode romantic angst recommendations for me, give them to me. I like Death Note. I like what I've seen of Demon Slayer, but I haven't seen enough. I'm way behind. I try to cram in as much anime as I can when it comes to Netflix, but like I said, I don't have a lot of time to binge the way I want to. Yeah. So, next question. What are your favorite hobbies? Okay, reading, writing, drawing, playing games, watching movies, watching movies and analyzing movies and talking about movies and just that, yeah. That also extends to watching television and anthologies and stuff like that. The various household arts, like cooking and needlework and all that stuff that tomboys don't generally do is stuff that my grandmother taught me to do, and so I enjoy it as a connection to her. And of course there's this. I really like this. Have you played any tabletop RPGs? Pen and paper, I played D&D once, but the group kind of fell apart. So I haven't had the opportunity to play again. Other tabletops, I played the Fallout board game, which I hated. God, I hated it. I always did want to play some of the more, offbeat pen and paper settings, what was that Weird West one that they made, 20 years ago that I can never remember the name of? Oh, what was it called? It had, it took place in the Old West, and it had, Frankenstein's monsters and revenants and zombies and stuff. Deadlands, that was it, yeah. I always want to play that one, yeah. And, World of Darkness, of course. Ravenloft. Just all the goth shit, really, but that requires hanging out with goths, and I'm very much... it's not that I'm not goth, it's I'm goth but lazy about it, so, and that really doesn't go over well with a lot of people, so, yeah. Alright. Oh, we're at the last section! Hooray! I mean, not hooray, this has been fun, but I'm getting tired. Oh, did you hear that squeak? Oh, that was terrible. Okay. So this is the personal stuff section. What is your biggest dream to ever achieve in your life? I would like, And, okay, this sounds very humble and simple as a dream, but, like, if you've ever been without it, you know it's not. I would like safety, security, comfort, and stability for myself and all the people I love for as long as they live. That's it. That is my only dream. I want everyone I care about to be okay and taken care of forever. So, yeah. What is one thing you always wanted to try but never could? The big cliche. I've always wanted to direct. So, direct a horror movie, I guess. Doing horror audios has actually been a really great way to channel all the stuff I know about that. So I'm pretty content with what I'm doing with that particular interest at the moment, because it's, I can play with rising tension and releasing tension and that it's really fun. Do you have a pet? I do. I have a big, sweet, vapid cat. His name is Noodle, and he is my gingerbread boyfriend. So he is actually probably sitting directly outside my recording booth here. Hold on, let me look. Hi, Noodle. Hi, buddy. How you doing? He's staring directly at me. Hi. You want to come sit in my lap? No? You want to turn your back to me? Act like you don't care I'm here? All right. If that's what you want to do. Okay. Bye-bye. I'm going. Here I go. Okay. He's got his back to me now. He's really showing me who's boss. Oh, I've been ignoring him while doing this, so now he's going to ignore me. Next question. Dogs or cats? Cats. And birds and rodents and ferrets and things, but dogs are okay. I like dogs. I like huskies, and there are a few other breeds that I can't think of right now. I like big dogs. Yeah. So, where are you from? The land of corn and cow tipping, the American Midwest. My family hails from the southern U.S., so, if you ever detect any weirdness in my accent, that's why, because I have a Midwestern accent, which only jumps out really strongly sometimes, but it does jump out. And living around Southerners my whole life, my accent slips sometimes there, too. Okay. Next question. What's one of the most crazy things you've ever done in your life so far? I don't want to answer this one, but I'm gonna. Okay. Okay, so once upon a time, I dropped everything, like my whole life, all my friends, my apartment, everything, and traveled like 8,000 miles because I was in love and I'm nuts. So, yep, don't do that, folks. It's, it always seems like a good idea, and, sometimes it works out, but oh my God, holy shit, don't do that. Life is rarely like a romantic movie. Do not drop everything for one person. Just don't do it. The odds are against you. All right, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? Europe. Which is such a basic bitch answer, but it's the true one. I'd like to go to like France and Italy and England and Ireland and Scotland and see where my people came from, where my roots are, in Ireland particularly. But yeah, yeah. Next question. What advice do you have about college? I haven't been, so I have none. But good luck. I'm rooting for you. Stay in school. Yeah, you can do it. What's one language you always want to learn, and have you ever thought about voice acting in that language? Esperanto. I want to be able to watch William Shatner's Incubus without subtitles. I feel like it would really give me insight into his method. No, I'm kidding. That's the smart-ass answer. French, I guess. Hey, it works on Gomez Adams. Good enough for me. As for acting in it, I don't think anyone wants that. No. Next question. How old are you? It's tough to say. was really hard to keep accurate records before man invented fire. No, I'm kidding. The real answer is that I am old enough to know better than to answer that question on the internet. So make of that what you will. I'm somewhere between the ages of, oh gee, barely legal, and ara man-eating MILF. So, that's as specific as I'm willing to get. Let's see, what inspired you to make audios? Yeah, okay, there are a bunch of variations on this question, so I lumped them all together. And this is my last answer, and this is the really long one. This is where we get personal. Why did you get into ASMR? What got you into ASMR? What inspired you to start your channel? What inspired you to make audios? What got you into VA, etc., 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 etc. So, there were a lot of versions of this question, a lot of different variations, and there are two answers. There's the short, easy answer, and the real answer. So I'll give the short answer first. I stumbled on ASMR audio roleplays completely by accident. I found one when I was looking for something else. I could not tell you for the life of me what it was that I was searching for at the time, but I was like, "What's this? Huh?" And I listened to it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, this is a thing. This is something that people do." Like, I knew about ASMR, of course. Not to toot my own horn, but I've been on the internet a time or two in my life. But I had no idea that audio RP was a thing. And like, I gotta be honest, the first few roleplays that I listened to were not my thing. I refused to put anybody on blast, but like, the performances were sort of weak, and, it was just someone sitting at the mic doing a cold reading and no emotion or anything, and that's fine. That's something that lots of people are into, that's fine, but it wasn't for me. But I had this thought, like a split-second thought of like, well, my acting skills are at least this good. Dude, I might even be better. I think, maybe. And like, after that, I sort of fell down a rabbit hole, finding all sorts of role plays with different themes and character, and finding some really good performers. And it was so cool. I started getting excited. Like, wait, maybe I could do this. I've done silly voices my whole life. I love to play pretend. This is a really specific skill set that I already have and I'm not using. Literally one of the earliest things ever that I remember I wanted to be when I grew up was a voice actor. And like I said before, I recorded myself when I was like 7 and wanted to send it to Disney, but my mom wouldn't give me the postage for it. And I mean, my thinking was like, no matter how bad I am, I've got to be at least as good or better than the absolute worst stuff that's out there. Aim high, very high bar. And I was like, you know what? I should try and find out. And before I could change my mind or get scared and talk myself out of it, I just threw myself into it. We're talking like maybe a few weeks between learning about ASMR audio roleplays and launching my channel. I really went for it. And because I didn't want to let my fear talk me out of it. So I just went whole hog. I threw myself into learning the basics of Audacity and how to make an audio sound decent. And I settled on an aesthetic and a channel name. I built myself a portable desktop studio to cut down on reverb and background noise. And yeah, when I say I went whole hog, I mean I went whole hog. So yeah, one thing led to another, and now I'm here. So that's the short answer. The real answer is a lot more personal. But I'll go into it anyway. So, okay. A few years ago, I had a stalker. Well, I have a stalker, I guess. They're still out there somewhere. The situation was messy, as you might imagine it would be. But the end result was really scary, and it screwed me up. I won't go into too much detail because it was complicated, but anyway, okay, so I guess I'll just say it. I had a not great childhood, and kind of a really shitty childhood, actually, and the kind that gives you complex PTSD, and it took a long time and a lot of therapy and a lot of effort to get where I was at a point where I could function out in the world without feeling, horribly broken. I'm not saying I was broken. I'm not saying people with PTSD are broken. I'm saying it took a long time to get to a point where I didn't feel broken, just to be clear. And I worked really hard to become an open, outgoing, trusting person after everything that had happened to me. If you've ever had to heal from trauma, you know how hard it is, right? And you know, recovering from it, I put a lot of effort into shaping myself into something better. Imagine a let your smile be your umbrella Disney princess type with the pronounced tomboy streak. I wasn't afraid of speaking my mind. I loved to go out and make friends. I loved being out in the world. I was very extroverted. But the stalking changed all that, you know. All the progress I made just got cut out from under me. And afterward, well, actually, while it was still going on, I started closing myself off to everything. You know, every time I wanted to do something, I had to evaluate the risk. Like, how much risk was I exposing myself to? Was I going to be in danger? Because this person was very dangerous. And, you know, it was like, is it safe to talk to someone new in my DMs? It could be the stalker catfishing me. They did that before. Is it safe to go out? They could be watching me. They've shown up on my doorstep without warning before, you know. Can I post a photo on social media? No, they'll see it. Can I express an opinion or talk about a cool thing I'm going to do next week? Nope, they'll know. They might show up where I'm going to be. Can I answer this phone call? This text? Nope, might be them again. It really permeated every part of my life. God, I have a knot in my stomach just thinking about it. But it was like living in a world where everything unfamiliar was a potential threat, you know? And that emotionally just turns you inside out, because you should be able to move around in the world without fear. And I felt like a house that used to have a light on in every window, and gradually someone went through and just turned them off one by one. And all those normal little things that you do that you take for granted, they just vanished one by one, you know? And I was like a shell of a person moving through a ghost of a life, which that sounds very poetic, but, you know, that's how it felt. And I stayed that way for a long time. And even though I was in therapy, I stayed that way for a long time. You know, my therapist did as much as she could, but... And the thing is, like, I felt really stupid for it breaking me as badly as it did. I was so mad at myself. Like, why am I so upset about this? I've been through worse. I made it through worse. I went through therapy to get over worse. This person hasn't even really tried to hurt me or anything. They just won't leave me alone. You know, they just want to watch my every move. That's not so bad, right? They aren't trying to kill me or anything. Why can't I handle this? And it got to a point where my therapist had to be like, no, sweetie, that's not how trauma works, okay? We don't get to choose what fucks us up. And, you know, because, like, a traumatized brain, it's kind of like a fire alarm. It doesn't care if you set the couch on fire or burnt some toast. It's going to screech that warning anyway. And my brain, which handled most of my childhood trauma with one set of coping skills I developed over the years, it could not handle this sudden, new, unfamiliar, intense form of danger. It was kind of like, okay, I've spent my life learning how to drive a bus, and now I'm stuck flying a plane, you know? It's just not the same skill set. And I could not cope. So, anyway, yeah. Recently, after literally years of that, I've been feeling, I don't know, restless, I guess. Ready to start over. You know, the pandemic really put me in a headspace of like, well, I'm stuck in the house anyway. I might as well start working on myself and like trying to fix myself. And so I was ready to start again. You know, desperate to be myself again. The girl that I worked so hard to become before it all came crashing down just because one person decided to ruin my life. And it took a long time for me to get to the point where I was ready to move forward. You know, I had been mildly extroverted and I got abused and traumatized into becoming introverted, and you can probably imagine how that feels. Like, it's hard enough being an ordinary introvert without trauma on top. And, anyway, you're probably wondering what the hell this has to do with anything. When I got interested in ASMR, roleplay, I decided, well, you know what? This is it. This is my chance. This is my chance to be myself, to connect with other people again, to to offer something inside me to someone on the outside, even if it's, you know, something as small as my voice. And I've had so much bursting inside me and nowhere to put it for so long. You know what I mean? And now I can pour it all into a performance and release it, like gifting a part of me to someone who needs it. And so yeah, that's why I started doing this, really. I mean, like, under all of the reasons of, like, oh, this sounds like fun, or oh, maybe I could make money at this. You know, that's the real deep reason. That's why I started doing this. I know it probably sounds silly. I mean, it definitely sounds silly. But when you get right down to it, I got into ASMR to heal myself, I guess. You know, to move on from a really bad emotional wound in a way that felt productive and useful and helpful for other people. And, you know, you can think it's dumb or pathetic or whatever if you want. I don't mind it. I guess it kind of is. But it's been really good for me. This has been really good for me, and I like it, and it makes me happy, and now I'm making a little bit of scratch at it. So, you know, yeah, that's my answer. It's like that Hemingway quote. I think it's Hemingway. I haven't actually read Hemingway, but it goes like, we're all broken, that's how the light gets in. And I broke for a long, long time. And now, after years of trying to protect my broken pieces, I'm finally ready to let the light get in. This is a small way I can do that. And, you know, you wouldn't think that I'd like to do yandere content after that experience, but honestly, it's felt kind of cleansing. Separating the fantasy of a stalker and the reality one has felt really therapeutic because I'm in control of the fictional scenario. And, you know, that's common with trauma, I think, you know, to process it using fiction and kind of compartmentalize it in a healthier way than just trying to ignore it. And so I'm putting little pieces of my heart out on the internet. And it feels terrifying, but also thrilling to be that vulnerable again because I haven't been able to be for so long. And sometimes it's like being at the top of a roller coaster right when it's about to plummet. But there's a difference between being vulnerable because you don't know you're in danger and someone hurting you when you least expect it, and the vulnerability of protecting yourself and then choosing to be vulnerable anyway. And that feels very empowering, I guess. So, yeah, that's the real answer why I got into this. And that's it. Oh my gosh, we have reached the end of the Q&A. So, I don't really know how to finish this. How long is this, actually? Oh my god, it's like an hour and a half. Well, so much for 5 minutes, huh? So yeah, that's my Q&A. I don't know when I'll do another one. If I'll do another one. I'm hoping to have, like, periodic Q&As on Patreon sometime. And I have no idea how to finish this. So, thanks for listening, if you listened to this whole disaster. And thanks for listening to my channel the rest of the time. And just thank you for being here and letting me do this. Okay. Thanks for being here. Bye.